Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. Just a video. It's more of a chit chat kind of a video. We're going to start replacing injectors on this engine, so injector replacement job. I don't think there's really much point me doing a full length video on replacing injectors because we've already done approximately 6 of those that are available in the VIP group. Hiluxes, Prado 120, Prado 150. We've done e-jar cleans. We've even put the full e-jar clean video on YouTube for you, public. We just got some special information for those special people that support us. There's your free info. And if you come back to us and, buy things like the injector kit, then, we just want to give you even more. That's why we've got those videos there. A lot of people that contact us are either just buying kits to take to workshops we recommend to get them installed, or they've already decided or almost decided they're going to do it themselves. So the information is designed, and it is designed to back you up with that job, because there is a lot of pitfalls and problems and right and wrong ways to do things. It is a big job. Now, just in the last week or two, I've spoken to a lot of people that have done this job recently, and it's anything from, there's people that have done it before that said, I don't want to do it again, you can do it, I'm going to get you to do it this time. And there's people that have told me twice in one day, different people that said, mate, it's an easy job, isn't it? And I'm like, no, well, I'm not going to call it easy, but it all depends on your mechanical aptitude, doesn't it? If it's, if I tell you it's easy to the wrong person, it's all going to go pear-shaped. If I tell you it's hard and you're really good on the tools and you're used to working on engines, you've even worked on these before, well, it might be easy to you. To me, it is easy, yes, absolutely easy. Was my first one easy? No. Was the second one easy? It was always straightforward. It's just procedure. You got to follow it through. It takes time. When you've done, I don't know, dozens or hundreds or thousands, of course it's easy. You've done it to death, It's so simple to you when you've, removed and replaced every component on one of these engines and removed many sets of injectors and e-jar cleans and pretty well every other component on the engine. It's all easy and simple, but it's all a matter of perspective. Perspective is needed. If it's your first time you've worked on one of these, this can look quite complicated. So I'm not here to tell you whether you should do it or not. The way we roll is, the first problem out there is, you need an injector kit, not a set of injectors. You may not need injectors. That's why we provide the information. We say, watch all the videos till the end, get all the information, then you can make an informed decision. Perhaps, hopefully you can, whether you need to replace your injectors, when you need to replace them, okay? We don't like waste. We can't stand waste, actually. We don't want you replacing them when you don't need to. We don't want you getting valve clearance checks and people removing the fuel pipes here and bending them up like this to get the cover to check the valve clearances at 40 and 80 and 120,000 when we know they're going to be okay. It's a waste of money. It's wrecking your vehicle and your fuel system. We're here for value and reliability, okay? So the first step is to make sure you get the whole kit. You do need to contact me to do that, okay? You do need to shoot me that text message with your name and your vehicle saying, hey, I need to buy injectors, I want to personalise a kit. I'll probably send you a link to a video first to watch with some information there, what's included and what the sort of pricing is, worst case scenario. If some things have been done, it may be cheaper than that. Our kit's not include only injectors, as I said, injectors, pipes, all the seals and gaskets. There's a number of gaskets just to do that job. Then you've got your intake cleaning and e-jar cleaning. There's another half a dozen gaskets or so there. There's the map filter. There's other bits and pieces included in the kit also. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, one of the first hurdles is getting yourself some brand new, genuine, fresh injectors, because you don't know what you're getting in the box sometimes. With some brands, well, I'm not going to use too many names. I don't want to be bagging out anyone else. I like to focus on what we're doing and we're doing well, not what other suppliers and things aren't doing. But to keep it short, you've got to be careful what you end up with. You could end up with Chinese copies. You could end up with remanufactured injectors. You could end up with other brands. Our position is only use brand new, genuine parts, and you've got to make sure that's what they are, because a lot of them are reboxed, remanufactured, and new ones in the same boxes. A lot of your suppliers don't know, so they're going to supply those to you not knowing, okay? Or they're going to know and supply them to you sneakily because they've got to get rid of them, because that's what they've been supplied, and that's kind of the deal. And without going into it too much, that's what they've got to do. So People buy the kit to make sure they've taken the first step correct and get all the right parts, okay, to get the job done right. Then you watch the videos because you're entitled to enter the VIP group once you've made a purchase, okay? With the injector kit, you're in for life. So all the information that comes for the next years to come, you've got access to it forever, okay? A lot of people really like that group. Now, the next step is to watch the videos. You're doing your training, you're gathering your information so that you're equipped to make the right decision. Should you get in here and do this job, or should you then come back to me and say, hey, Ant, I've got the kit, I've watched the videos, I was going to do it myself, but you know what? Can you recommend someone for me? Because this has got to be right. You know, you understand this has got to be right for the next 5 to 10 years. Let's say a lot of times 10 years, sometimes 15 years, you know. It all varies, you know. We've got an average recommendation, you already know, 7 years, 170. It's a guide. You can talk to me and we'll fine tune it, ask the questions. I'll always be giving you more information to answer those questions, whether as a comment to this video, a text message to my phone. We prefer the questions on our Facebook groups and pages. That's why the community's there. You can ask the questions, other people can answer. If it's not right, I'm gonna correct the answer. I'll get to it eventually. I'm only one person, okay? So appreciate if you have purchased the kit, and this is some information to get you started. I'm going to do a little bit of work on this to get it started. I'm not really prepared here, so right. First thing is you want to undo that plug. Now that's not the first thing. If you watch the videos, and that's what I say, we've done all these videos, but they're from different perspectives. Some are from start to finish, including removing that shroud along the top of the windscreen across there, the plastic shroud. On a 150 Prado, you want to do that, but not on a Hilux or a 120. That's why we've done the videos on different vehicles, okay? It makes a lot more room. It's much easier to remove that, okay? Basically, that is the first thing. I'm just going to grab a couple of tools. Well, I'll grab one at a time, actually. This is, I suppose, a taste of what you would find in the VIP group. And, you know, I'll put this up public on YouTube, but don't kind of, you know, I don't want to put the whole, you know, the whole many hours up there, you know. There's a lot of reasons for not putting it up. I can put it up at a later date. You never know, I might put it up. Now, the key thing here is when you're undoing plugs, you need to be really careful to press the tabs to release them, enough to release them, but not over push it, because they are getting old, they've been heat affected, they could be 10 years old, and you could break a plug. Do not pull on wires, it's easy. See this dust and dirt here on the plug? A lot of that can make the plug really tight and hard to slip on and off, okay? I use a little, this is a snap-on, it's a heater hose removing tool, right? So when you take your clamp, you hook it in there and you pop that off, right? I also use it to release these clips. See, there's another one here. So it's just an angle. I use it to push underneath in there and release that clip, right? As I said, I've been doing these a long time, so I may make it look easy. Sometimes I make it look hard. Usually what happens is, as I've said in videos, quite often, I end up making it look hard, because that's just the nature. It's, what do they call it? Murphy's Law. So I don't know if it's his law or what, but okay, so undo those plugs is maybe not the next step. There's a few steps around about now that you could, you know, change up the order to suit you if you wanted to. Now, there's a little guard on the side here, if you've already done your e-jar clean or not. Let me just see. I'm going to check the camera to see if we've got you in the picture there. Close enough. I'm going to describe it. I will back it off a little bit so you can see. Here you go. Alright. On the side here, there's a guard here covering this VSV. Now you need to get that off, okay? And you need to not lose your nuts. And you can see, when you say easy, well, it's easy when you've got the right tools. I mean, look, there could be some really hot, these could be hot, and they're sharp on the edges a little bit, and there's clamps here. You know, this is, depends how good you are with your hands. It's not a hard job, but I'm just going to go grab a longer extension to turn those out. You know, this is easy. Perspective, it's easy, but it's not easy anymore. If I drop this nut that I'm about to lift off, see, I just got that nut there. If I drop that and lost it, and I'm looking for it for the next hour, it's not easy anymore, is it? So Some people have got the dropsy standard, right? I'm pretty good at not dropping stuff, but if it's going to get dropped, it's going to be right now in this video because I just said that, right? So what I'm going to do is make sure I don't drop it. There's the guard. Okay, we'll just put it there for now. Okay, so that's one of your first steps, a component you... Now, we've got to be careful here saying what you do and do not need to replace, because you don't need to remove that, or do you? Yeah. Look, if you pull enough stuff out of the way and bend and knock enough things around, you could probably get number 4 fuel pipe out without removing that. But I can tell you now, some of the components we're going to remove now and include in this video are not hard to remove, okay? And it's easier to remove them. I'm just going to undo that brown plug on the side. So there's a bit of torque going on, information torque. Okay, so there's a brown plug there, the plug off there. So we've got all those now. So now we can carefully just tuck that wire down there out of the way, and it would normally go down a bit further, but you know, there's an extra fuel filter fitted, and the hoses have been, they're hanging over the top of the engine there, behind the EGR valve. There'll be another video on those, because it's not approved, you know. I didn't approve of those bodgy works, just like I didn't approve of these sharp cut zip ties here. So what we're going to do, we're going to give those a bit of a trim up before we lose. See, I just want to show you, see at the top, we've got that shroud along the top of the windscreen has been removed to allow further access back here, because it normally curves sort of up to about here, and it blocks the access to number 4 and particularly a little bit of number 3 injector. So let's just get back in there a bit closer so you can get a bit more detail of what's going on. What are we doing here? Okay, so let's grab that 10mm again. We're going to take this little 10mm nut, and if you've, like I said, if you've done the intake clean, we've got that full intake clean video, so be happy about that. You know, you might want a full injector replacement video on YouTube, but there's a lot of other people and places that would probably prefer not to. So I'm being considerate of that, right? So I'm taking into account all the people that were going to do it anyway, right? I'm helping the people that were going to do it anyway. That's the key to it all, okay? I don't want to encourage DIYs, everybody to go out working on their own fuel systems, because it's not always the best thing. If you want that information, you've got to go to the next level. Just grabbing some more tools, of course. We need a 12mm, and I'm not saying that I'm going to use the right tools. I'm going to give you ideas. This is a 3/8 drive and a 12mm single, I call it single hex, aka 6-point socket, right? Crack it loose with that. Usually what you want to do then, like for this video, we want to speed things up a little bit, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to use a bit of impact drive. We're just going to have the extension on still because it's just quicker rather than take it off. So we're going to zip those off. We're just going to throw some nuts and bolts down all over the board at the moment, but I suggest what you do is organise yourself really well so that you don't find yourself going, where do these nuts and bolts go, and putting the wrong nuts and bolts in the wrong places, because this is what happens. I've seen it a number of times, and this is what I'm talking about. If this is not you, then don't do it, okay? But don't think this is your training video, because it's not. This is a video for me to explain to you the reasons why, what the steps you need to take to make sure you make the right decision. Don't be confused. Oh, I don't know what to do now. Of course you don't know what to do. You haven't seen the videos. This is what you do. Number 1, you buy your injector kit. Number 2, you get in the VIP group and watch all the videos. Only then will we know, and will you know, you're the one that's got to make the decision. Only then will you know if you should be doing this job yourself, right? This is all the easy stuff at the moment, right? We're going to keep going through it. Look, it's coming up to lunchtime. When I'm at the point where I've had enough, that's where this video is going to end. So all you can really hope for is keep your fingers crossed, and you better hope that I had a big breakfast, or I ate late or something like that. What are we going to have for lunch today? Personally, I'm thinking I'm going to go and visit the Indian restaurant and get a takeaway lunch pack. I've got this awesome Indian joint. The food is beautiful. And before you ask, no, never had a problem. It's fantastic, mate. Good place, nice clean place, good shop, good people. Right, we've just removed that map filter, so that's something that you replace as part of the injector job. Replace this sucker. Some people, actually, here's some info while we're at it, right? So this is what we call the map filter, okay? From a Toyota dealer, they're about 60 bucks. Most common price I see quoted on Facebook, 58 bucks. This is included, one of the included items in the injector kit. So we're just going to go and put these items aside for a moment. This is the sort of video that you need to save and you need to watch it again. If you like it, you need to give me the thumbs up, because the ones that get the thumbs up, I'm taking into account that, you know, they're the ones that you liked extra if you went to that effort. It'd be really good actually if you gave us a thumbs up on all the videos, because I think they've all got their own bit of good information. Even if there's one little thing in there you don't agree with, just because you don't agree doesn't mean that either of us are right or wrong. It's just like saying thanks. Thumbs up, thanks for that. You can roll that way, you can do that or not do that. I don't know everything. Alright, so we're just going to give that a bit of a wipe. Give that in case there's any dust. And then we tuck that intercooler hose under the radiator hose there, so nothing's going to fall into there. It's kind of like bent shut, and so nothing falls down. Now, this one, I believe, has already had a intake clean or E-jar clean, and it's probably already got a plate. We see a lot of these. We don't do the E-jar cleaning or intake cleans. We used to do that. So of course, yeah, I'm looking in there. It's alloy in colour. That's beautiful. If you keep watching, which I'm sure you will, those that will, and those that won't. If you keep watching, you will see that throttle body come off, and you will get a view of how clean. So now at this point we're going to undo that plug at the back there. That is your throttle position sensor. See that plug? Easy to forget. A lot of people forget this plug. Now the key with this job is, if you follow your step 1, get the injector kit, step 2, VIP group. There's a big bonus there, because when the proverbial hits the fan because you forgot something, there's two things you can do. You can text me, but if it's a weekend, where quite often people are doing this on the weekend, I could be out playing footy with my son or whatever, right? And you're in a panic. So what do? You post on 4x4 Diesel VIPs. We've got a whole bunch of awesome people there. All the people that buy parts off me and do their own stuff or take recommendations, they're just the good guys, right? And they're there to help. There's a whole heap of awesome people there. Not everybody's got the answers, but a lot of people come across the same thing. You've also got, it's like an encyclopedia, right? You can search that group for the problem you've got, right? And search the videos. That's why there's videos. See what we're doing now? We're doing it for you, right? There it is. So we just cracked all those loose. Just going to zip those nuts and bolts off. That's why the information's there, to help you. Okay? I can go do something else. I can do anything. I can work on any car, anything. I can have a complete change and go work on something else. But what I'm trying to tell you is, I'm not going anywhere at the moment. This is good. I'm having a good time. You having a good time? If we're all having a good time, then we just keep having a good time, right? That's what we're doing. The information will always be there, okay? It's not going anywhere. We can always come back to it and add to it, give you a hand. Even if I never do another, not that that matters, but I'll just show you anyway. You can't see it, it's clean, right? Not that any of it matters, but even if I never did another injector video again, it's all there, so it doesn't matter. Can you see in there? It's a bit dark. Let me grab a light for it. You're going to see probably a little bit of a light sprinkle of sorts or something. I can tell you, your best view is not where you are, and we're not moving, but normally where you look in there, and this E-jar valve's black in there at the top, right? It's alloy in colour, mate. You know, doesn't even put a mark on my finger, right? You can touch that, right? There's nothing to get. it's beautiful, right? No caking. So I'll just put that point of that is the plate works. So stop asking questions, right? This is the other thing. The questions that get asked, that have been asked and asked and answered for years. I understand you just found me last week or yesterday or a month ago. Unfortunately, it doesn't entitle you to contact me directly for personal time to answer all your questions. They've all been answered. It's already there. What you need to do, I hope you understand where I'm coming from, but you need to go and watch the information. You need to spend the time, just like everybody else did. It's there, it's for free, okay? And do yourselves a favour, do us all a favour. Watch the ads. Watch all the ads through to the end. Watch the ads. I'll tell you why. Because if you watch the ads, I might make a cent. And all those cents add together to 10 cents and $1 and maybe $5, $10 or even $100. And if I make money from this YouTube channel, I can do a lot more videos. What does that mean for you? Everything on Prado is bumper to bumper. Other vehicles, all of a sudden, we don't need to work on Prados every day. We can work on one a week, a different car every day of the week. What other vehicle? You got a Camry? You want to learn stuff on your Camry? We can do all that. We can look at your questions and your requests and do that once YouTube pays the bills. And it's certainly not at the moment. That's not really the idea of it. Okay? Somebody, a number of people, but someone in particular suggested I should monetize the channel. So, bada boom, bada bing, right? Or bada bing, bada boom. Depends which way you want to look at it. So, look at that. Hasn't it just opened it up a whole lot here with a wiring loom? A few things. Now, number 1, 2 and 3 fuel pipes, they're here. I'm not going to tell you they're easy to get out. They're not that easy to get out. So this vacuum line here, we're just going to tuck that down out of the way. As I said, this one isn't an intake clean or anything. That's all been done. This is an injector replacement job. So this is going to be kept pretty simple. And we're going to go through it. Next thing is, I want to remove, on the side of this actuator here, see here there's a bracket with 3 bolts and there's a couple of vacuum lines. There's a yellow one there, off, and a pink one there, off. You can't get them mixed up, yellow and pink, right? Simple. Now, if you do get them mixed up, you're going to have a P0400, you know? That's the other thing that keeps coming up, questions. Why am I going to P0400? I just did the jar clean and put the plate in and now I've got this. Well, hang on a minute. Just remember there's thousands of people who've got that plate in and they don't have a P0400 or an engine light. So it's not the plate, it's you've done something else. Or inside this E-jar cooler could be blocked up. Just giving you examples. And the combination of putting the plate in to reduce the flow and the flow that was already reduced, that's your problem. So you either need to take the plate out or unblock the cooler, or a bit of both. Make the hole bigger, half clean it, leave the plate there, whatever, you get it. This shaft over here on this actuator, you've got to actually make sure, right, that it goes all the way down and springs back, as this one is. Happy days, all right? Understand, the information's there, you've got to do your research. Don't blame the plate. The plate isn't at fault. The plate works in thousands of cars, mate. It's the done thing. Everybody's got a plate with a 7mm hole, okay? What we're going to do now is get this bracket off the side. So I'm going to grab myself a deep reach 12mm. I'm going to grab out the old favourite ratchet. I mean, you may have seen me using the nice new King Chrome one, but I like the old Sid Chrome one. I've been swinging off this one for, I don't know, 25, 30 years, whatever it is anyway. You can see the handle went long ago. I think it's got a lifetime warranty, so I could probably get a new handle. I had an old rusty one actually, and they put a new handle and put new guts in it for me. But you know, it's got a pretty big click, but you know what, I just like it, the old Sid Chrome, you know. I think they probably were made in Australia, and I'm pretty sure it says on it. Oh yeah, there you go, look at that, made in Australia. Oh, awesome, eh? Yeah, no, it's not going anywhere. I wonder why I like it so much, you know. It's just a natural thing, it just works. Didn't think about it. Now, what you've got to be careful here is, see, you're undoing this, there's 3 bolts, 12mm, 1, 2, and then one down here where I've got the ratchet on, and this, you can't really get the leverage on and push too hard because then I'm going to slip and hit, and that's what I mean, you've got to be careful of these things. That's pretty strong. So what I do is, I hit that, but when you're hitting that, your knuckles, and I've done it a number of times, you can see, oh, just drop that ratchet. You can see the scratch there just from yesterday. I heal up pretty quick because you know what they say, you are what you eat. So, well, I heal up pretty quick, but a lot of scratches on the back of the knuckles that happen quite often I slice myself open on that knuckle there, on this here, hitting that ratchet when I just go a little bit and just be aware of that. I'm just going to go grab that ratchet. Underneath the car on the floor. Now this is all going to get bloody because I'll show you what I normally do. You know, you just normally want to go like that, right? Right, so they're the top two. I'm going to just loosen those first because what I figured was, if you loosen that, you could take this out of the way, or at least when I hit it, it'll move and not cut me open as bad. But you're saying take it off out of the way, then why aren't you taking it off? Well, I'm going to show you. We like to do things the hard way. We like to take risks. And I've done a few of these before, and I reckon I got it fine-tuned that I should be able to get it right? There you go, right? So we cracked it loose. I'm going to take the ratchet off. I'm going to get the 12mm deep reach. I'm going to reach right down in under there and get that bolt out. Actually, without the deep reach is actually going to work better. So I've got that in my hand just to make things a little bit more difficult. We'll take that bottom bolt out. And if you're thinking I should bring the camera around, well, I'm being lazy. I've made enough videos where I've brought the camera around and shown you how to remove this. You know, it's free information. So just because I've given you something doesn't mean you're entitled to ask for more or tell me there's a better way to do it. I am open to suggestions, but you just got to be careful, you know. You know, the complaining, you get given something for free and then you complain it's not good enough. Don't worry about complaining, you know. Just go, awesome, love it. And I know most of you do, so I appreciate all the positive feedback, and that's what keeps me doing what I'm doing, right? So I appreciate you showing your appreciation. Now, so what I'm going to do, as soon as we just considered that, I'm going to bring this around and show you what I just removed, right? Goes on the side, right? There's a bolt at the top there, you know that one? Right, that's where the map filter sits. Of course, you got that next bolt there, and you got the one at the bottom. And this is the pink and the yellow I'm talking about. See the dots, pink and yellow? They can wear off. Let's have this for the record, right? On YouTube. The bottom one's pink, the top one's yellow, right? Okay, I'll go put that on the bench. This is still the easy part. So if this is kind of like you're going, there's lots of bits and pieces coming off, that's getting hard for me, it's going to do my head in. Well, I'll give you the tip. What you do is everything that comes off, the first things that come off, you lay it out in order furthest away from you, okay? That's the first thing you do. And then you got to have a lot of table or bench space. How about this? Even a bit of light. How good would a bit of light be? Watch this. Look at that. Beautiful. Now you can really see what's going on. So the things you take off first, and then you work your way away, if you know what I mean. So the furthest thing first, and you sort of build up your pile coming back towards you, and then hopefully you don't run out of bench, you know, when you get to pulling the injectors out. And then of course they go back in. You got to stop and think. You got to watch the video again, and that's why I say, keep reminding people, you only retain 10% of what you read or hear, okay? So you watch this video now, you're not going to remember most of it. So watch it again, watch it again, watch it again. There's a lot of info in here, right? Yeah, me talking, yeah. Some people are going to go, yeah, can you stop talking and get on with it? Sorry, I can't, no. See, we've stopped working. I'm talking to you. I'm telling you how important it is. If you do it, I won't have to tell you. Then we'll be able to work. We'll be able to go like this. See, the plugs can get tight. I'm hearing it clicking. It's like this is glued on, this one. Oh, sorry, I wasn't allowed to tell you that. You don't want to know. You want me to just do it and... Those three were all pretty tight. I can hear it clicking, and it just doesn't want to... They're actually quite tight, and that's that dust I'm talking about. So that was fun. But I can not tell you that. I can tell you sometimes they're easier than that. I can tell you sometimes they're harder, right? See the dust there? There is, I can see it. You might not be able to, right? Right. So, bada bing, that's undoing those. Unplugging, not undoing. Now, when we get to this wiring loom, This is a Prado, so it's got an insulating cover. There's a cover over the cover we've got to take off. Now, I like to just go like that because if someone's been in here and worked before, generally that brown clamp, they just rip them out because they're not going to take the time and patience to undo the zip tie like I'm about to, right? So they just pull really hard, and you might do that, and I'm going to give it a wiggle, and there it is, right? So it has been out before because giving that gentle wiggle and a pull, it came out, right? Now we'll do that with the next one as well in case it comes out, right? Now we're not going to, no, that one came out easy as well, right? So what I want to point out here is this is not the way things are normally done. Normally, you could pull that to your heart's content. It isn't going to come out until you bend those backwards and completely destroy them. That hasn't happened this time, right? I'm not sure why. You can see there's some white marks. I actually think that they have been bent and at least they were put back correctly and they were sitting in the hole correctly. So that's good. You can gently pull and give that a wiggle and see if they come out, but what we normally find is they don't come out, okay? If you pull hard enough, you'll wreck them. We don't do that. So if they don't come out, then you get your little pick and you open this up and you press on the little release tab. You know, see this? All these divots of a zip tie. You've literally got to use your little pointy pick and release that tab and then pull the zip ties out. And that's what we normally do with those two, but this time we didn't have to. So, you know what we say, bada bing. Just going to get a little flat plate out of the old 30-year-old Stanley set. Look at that, it's even rusty, this one. Might have got left out somewhere, but anyway. What we need to do is unplug the coolant temperature sensor, which is down on the front of the engine here. Again, it's a press and release. Again, it's very tight, just like some other ones we've had. Okay, we got it off. Now, normally I'd use my heater hose tool to release the next clip, but I'm going to use the flat blade because that's what I've got in my hand, and that's probably what you've got. You can get away with, you don't have to own one of those heater hose tools, but they do come in handy if you're going to work on your own vehicle. Now, next thing is opening up these clips because the wiring loom is in the way of getting the cover and the cover off. So you undo the first clip, just carefully pull the wiring loom out of the clamp so that otherwise the clip will just close on you, and that's the problem. And you've got two more clips here to open up. Not sure if you can see that in the picture, I'm not sure where we're at, but like I said, how much time can I spend making sure the video is right and editing and whatever if you're not watching the ads? Watch the ads, make my bank balance go up, and we can make awesome videos, okay? That's what I'll do, okay? The more you pay me to make videos, I'll make more videos and better videos, right? I'll consider myself employed by you. See, we're getting that wiring loom out of the way. There's a bolt at the top of the EJAR valve here, a 12mm. We're going to get that out next. So you want to grab your 3/8 again and your 12mm with your extension. Where did that go? Was that one of those tools I dropped? No, just joking, but where is it? Oh, there it is on the end of the... Found it. Okay, probably best done... Look, I'll do it from either side because I can feel my way through it. I would say for you, driver's side, because you need to see what you're doing. But for me, I'm going to go passenger side because it's a shorter reach. And I think I've done it before and I can find the hole in the dark, you know. It's down there somewhere, I don't know. Right. It's actually not working out for me, so let's not do that. Let's have a change of plans because, look, you know what? I think it's the 120. No, see, I'm getting confused myself. It's the 120 where you can put the ratchet on it because the engine is a bit further forward in the Hilux. On this one, you want to grab yourself your 12mm ratchet spanner like that. Right. On the 150 Prado, this one. Right, put that on there and just go. Right, and then, just by hand, this is what I mean. See, I'm down underneath all this. Can you imagine having a plastic trim there? Just take that off. It only takes you 5 minutes. Let's say 10 or 15 because you haven't done it before. 10 minutes to take it off, 10 minutes to take it on, to put it on, to take it on. I can't even speak properly. Anyway, we're going to go put that bolt down at a safe place. Remember, it's one of our highest bolts. We're going to put back on one of our last ones. So, order of business where we're putting them, right? For me, it doesn't really matter. As I said, I'm not bragging or anything, but you could throw all the nuts and bolts in a container and shake them up, and I'll pull them out and show you where they go. But again, that's the advantage of the videos, and this is a long one, so I hope some people are liking it because they really wanted me to put a long one, but I want to demonstrate that it's been done before, and I am getting hungry. Not sure what time it is. Let's not look yet, because if I look, there's more chance I'm going to stop the video, right? Let's get to a point where I can say, all you've got to do now is this, this, and this. Right, now at the moment I want to take, there's a 10mm right down the back of the cover over the cover, and I use a 10mm, a uni joint, and extension like that. And while I'm at it, I'll just use that to get the middle one out. Right, so if you noticed, I didn't even have to rattle the back one, so it was loose. As I said, it's been out before, that's why. Otherwise it would have had the standard approximate 5 Newton meters on it. And if my voice gets a bit soft, sorry, it's because I'm walking away from the phone. And I haven't invested money to wear a microphone. I've actually got a headset that I could do that, but you know what, like I said, you make the effort to watch the ads, and I'll make the effort to do better videos with better sound and everything better, you know. I'll tell you what, I'll do you a deal. I'll do you a deal. A lot of people say they like it like this, but some people would love for me to turn the camera around. I'll do you a deal. When I make enough money to pay the bills, I'll turn the camera around on every video. Well, I'll try to on every video. I'll at least have an introduction for you with me. G'day guys, Anthony 4x4 Diesel, how you going? We'll do something along those lines. That's a promise. When I make enough money from this channel to pay the bills, whatever that may be, I might have to come up with some more bills because you don't want to stay private. I just want to stay private. Anyway, it doesn't really matter about the private thing. It can be private or not. I'm just about over it. I don't care. Right? Initially, I'm sort of like, I just want to keep my privacy, but you know, the longer time goes by, who cares? You know, whatever. It's kind of getting like that. So we've got the two 12mm out of there. There was a 10mm there and a 10mm at the back. Now what happens sometimes, there's insulation under this cover and it kind of sticks. It sticks a bit to the valve cover. So just carefully lift this up and take it off. There it is, right? It's all good at the moment, happy days. You can see there's a bit of dirt and dust and stuff around here as well. So this is why I always talk about contamination. And let's just imagine you're in some workshop at the moment and this engine bay was clean. The clients made sure they cleaned it as best as they could. I haven't cleaned it because it is pretty clean. I wasn't going to go ahead and do it again, but it's been on trips. It gets used in the outback. You can see the red stains and the dirt there. But if you were trying to check a valve clearance here, check the valve clearances and get these pipes off and get it all back together without contamination. I think there's a lot of luck involved, guys. I've demonstrated in other videos all the sand and dirt that's sitting in these nozzle seals around these nuts. As soon as you're undoing that, it's just going to fall into the injectors. Then they're bending the pipes back. These pipes are dragging over the valve cover, and it's happened on this vehicle. I can see there's scratch marks on the valve cover there. Okay, yep. So this has definitely been a part before, and that's what gets into your injectors and causes the problems, premature, you know, problems. You know, the injectors aren't problems, the engines aren't problems. It's the contamination is the biggest problem, okay? Whether it's bad fuel or poor workmanship, right? And that's what it is, poor workmanship, when you're not getting paid enough because you've quoted too cheap, or you're under the pressure by whoever, however, to get this job done. You can see the marks on the nuts, 100% they've been out before, right? So, you know, bada bing, you know, what's the point of, this car's got 3 fuel filters on it. It's got one at the back, it's got this one here, it's got a pre-filter there. What does that matter? There's no filtration here. You just fed sand into your injectors. Okay? So this is why I like to say, don't let anyone open up your fuel system. If I've done your injectors, don't let anyone else work on it. You know, change your oil and all that sort of thing. It's me, our recommended repairers, and or you. Okay? Whoever, you want to train yourself. So I'm getting to that point. I've talked enough and I need a break. So I think this is going to be it for this video. 40 minutes, guys. So I really want to see some comment. Thanks for the 40 minutes. I hope you get where I'm coming from, understand what I'm saying. The other thing that'll help is if you share the information, share it around, mate. Go to your Toyota forums, groups, whatever. Share these videos around, not just this one, all the other ones. Share them around so people can get on board, and let's get the information, the awesome, accurate information out there. So I'm going to just tell you what we've got to go. This is a Prado, as I said, both the Prados have got that cover over the cover. With the Hilux it hasn't got that, it's just this cover as it is. Basically what have we got to go? Still quite a bit. This was all the easy part. Now we've got some cleaning to do. I want to clean this up, some compressed air before we do anything else. And then what we're going to do is we've got to remove the clamps off the fuel lines. We've got to remove the inlet manifold stay. There's a bracket here that the top bolt's behind down here. We've got to remove the PCV hose off. We're going to crack all the pipes loose. We've got to remove all the pipes away from the engine. Okay. Then we'll be able to take these nozzle seals off. Must come out before you try and lift the cover off. Some people have made that mistake. So once you take the pipes off, before you lift the cover, these nozzle seals come out, just these ones at the side here. Then all your bolts off your valve cover. And then once you get inside the engine, you've really got to keep things clean. Again, it's in other videos, so I don't need to do it again. I just did this to give you a taste. Hopefully there's a bit of information here that helps you, but I wouldn't suggest you go ahead and try and get creative and do your own injectors based on what you've seen so far. You know the deal. Bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, ba bam bam ba 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 ba. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Give us a thumbs up, comments. Bada bing, bada boom. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.